The council began its session with a moment of silence for all the victims on both sides of this conflict, before Dr. Tedros took to the floor, calling the barbaric attack on Israel by Hamas unjustifiable, while commiserating with the people of Gaza who are enduring the destruction of their homes, their lives, and their communities.
The situation on the ground is impossible to describe. Hospital corridors crammed with the injured, the sick, the dying, morgues overflowing, surgery without anesthesia, tens of thousands of displaced people sheltering at hospitals, families crammed into overcrowded schools desperate for food and water. More than 10,800 people have now been killed in Gaza, almost 70% of them women and children. On average, a child is killed every 10 minutes in Gaza.
He pointed to extremely difficult conditions under which health workers in the enclave were working, with WHO verifying more than 250 attacks on healthcare in Gaza and the West Bank, in addition to 25 attacks on health facilities in Israel.
As we speak, there are reports of firing outside the Al-Shifa and Rantisi hospitals. Half of the Gaza Strip's 36 hospitals and two-thirds of its primary healthcare centers are not functioning at all. Those that are functioning are operating way beyond their capacities. The health system is on its knees, and yet somehow it's continuing to deliver some life-saving care. The best way to support those health workers and the people they serve is by giving them the tools they need to deliver that care: medicines, medical equipment, and fuel for hospital generators.
He then took a personal turn, reflecting on his experience as a young child in Ethiopia caught up in war.
I understand what the children of Gaza must be going through, because as a child, I went through the same thing, the same. The sound of gunfire and shells whistling through the air, the smell of smoke after they struck, tracer bullets in the night sky, the fear, the pain, the loss. These things have stayed with me throughout my life. I know how the children are feeling, and I know how the parents are also feeling. The children and parents of Gaza and Israel want and need the same thing that my family wanted and needed: peace and security.
Mr. President, Excellencies.
While the leader of the Palestinian Red Crescent Society had a pointed message for the council.
I'm calling upon the council members on behalf of the staff and volunteers of the emergency medical teams, the doctors and nurses who are besieged in Gaza hospitals, to do all you can to spare further deaths and sufferings. I was prepared to inform the Council about the critical shortages of fuel, food, and water. But honestly, now our utmost concern is the direct threat to the lives of all those wounded and sick. Please listen to the cries of children soaked in blood and asking why. And what have they done? And why the world is so indifferent to their lives.
Thousands of wounded Israelis.
Israel's ambassador Gilad Erdan defended his country's actions in Gaza, arguing that Hamas operatives were embedded in health facilities, including tunnel networks under hospitals, while accusing the militant group of using ambulances to transfer weapons. Sherwin Bryce's SABC News, New York.